So, hi, good evening, all. Hope I am audible to all.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So it's been 7 o'clock. I have informed the previous dates to join on the 7 o'clock. Let us wait for another 2 minutes so that if any students still facing joining issues or anything like that, they'll join up the session. Post that will start up quickly. So is that fine with everyone?
Okay.
Agreed. So 2 minutes, we'll start up with the class. So by then, make yourself ready. Whatever work you're doing, keep everything aside. So just have a intro part of SQL or SQL, how the things goes on in SQL or what are the things we'll be learning in SQL. All that we'll understand within some time. Why it is required, even that also you'll get to know. And being a tester, why I should be learning SQL part, what is it I'll be doing it in the sequel, all that you'll get an idea here. Okay, so let's wait for some time and we'll quickly start with the session. So yeah, good evening all. Hope all most of you like who are supposed to join for the testing or the testing batch students as well as the few other students are also are joining to the session. So I hope my voice is audible to everyone and it is clear.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. It's clear.
So I would request to everyone, first you see, everybody has this option in your like a Zoom application, right? That is a chat option. So utilize the chat option. So anything you want to respond between the discussion, so quickly respond there. Sometimes my voice will not be audible or some issues like that, quickly respond there. But if you unmute yourself, what will happen is my voice will not be audible properly to anyone. So that is the reason. So just give me 1 minute. I'll set up. Yeah, I think it is ready. So what I would like to request to everyone, as I said, don't unmute yourself in the beginning or during the discussion. So what happens if you unmute is that sometimes you unmute, my voice will be, it will not be audible to everyone, and the session is also getting recorded. There are few people who have not attended the session and they'll be going through the recording only. They are dependent on the recording, and my voice will not be audible in that properly. So to avoid all this disturbance or the problems, I would suggest in the discussion or during the discussion, let's not get distracted because of this like unmuting thing. You can utilize chat box, and if in case I have not observed the chat box during any explanation, and someone can unmute and say that my voice is not audible. So but before saying that my voice is not audible, some disturbance in my voice, I would suggest please check your connection at your end and inform, because sometimes at your end it will not be proper. And so immediately you unmute and start saying, ma'am, it is not audible. Again, it's kind of a disturbance again. So first verify at your end and then let me know that some issue is there. So first put in a chat box, then you can let me know. Even then, if it is not solved, then we can set up. Okay, this is the first thing which I would like to inform. As I said, before we start up the session, I would like to introduce myself first. So I'm Tejaswini, one of the senior trainer here at BGS Hub. I do handle the technologies like .NET. Currently, I'm not handling the .NET, but I have handled the .NET batches, and also Java technology, programming, SQL, that is SQL. So, like in other words, I can say I'm a full stack trainer. So coming to the experience, I have a quite great experience in that is 5+ years of experience, around 6,000 to 7,000 students I have trained on the technology, that is full stack technologies. So this is all about me. So I'll make it very short now. So coming to your batch, the current technology which I'll be handling is SQL, that is SQL. So yes, I hope all of you at least have an basic knowledge why we should be learning about SQL, or maybe this could be a doubt. Ma'am, I am from testing background. Why should I learn SQL? Ma'am, I am from development. Why should I bother about this small part that is SQL? A few doubts will be definitely there. So let me first clear that question. Being a tester or being a developer, why I should be learning something related to the data or database, or I can say SQL. So first, let me just share the screen. Yes, just give me 1 minute. The screen is visible to all. Quick response from everyone. Utilize chat box. Yes. Again, one more thing. I know it's an online session. There are most of them are working professionals who are working in the day, and again in the evening they are going through the sessions. So I know that they will be thorough with the sessions, but there are the other students also who are like, freshers into the career, like they are now learning the technologies. So what they usually do is like they'll just connect and they'll be busy in their work, like you're using the WhatsApp or watching the TV, and here I'll be speaking. See, no, 1 hour is what I'm asking from your end. 1 hour, the complete concentration or the complete dedication be in the session. And ma'am, or should I have to revise after that? Nothing is required. Whatever I would tell in the session, just pay attention and just take that. Post that, you will only come to know when you attend the interview, whatever we have learned in the session is sufficient to clear your interviews. So I am telling you, without any diversion, please be in the session. I know this is the online. I cannot have the direct connection with you, what you're doing or anything, but I would trust that everyone will be attentive throughout this session. That is the reason I'm not taking it for 2 hours, but 1 hour is so, like it is sufficient to understand the SQL. Okay, yeah. So the question is that why is that I should be learning SQL? Many things, NoSQL, MySQL, or MS SQL Server, or maybe something like many things are there. Like leave everything apart. If you have a knowledge on things, I would tell for a certain time of a certain period of time, keep everything whatever you have understood for a side. Just understand what I'm trying to tell. Why I'm telling you from the basic is that the question will be asked in this way. Okay, so you being a tester, why you, what is the, why you have to be learning, or what is all that. So I'll be telling you what is that is required for the interview and all. The question is, why is that I have to learn SQL? Okay, let me just give you a simple scenario for that. Example, assume that you are like, on a daily basis you use WhatsApp. Anybody here who don't use WhatsApp or the Facebook or Gmail to leave every other application? Definitely, if you're working or if you're not working, you're applying for an interview, mails, you will daily use it. Means you are applying for a interview, some mails, you would be sending it, your resume you would be forwarding it in their mails. 100% everybody would have used the Gmail, right? Agree? Yes. So when you are using this application, you would have sent many important data, many things you would have, documents you would have sent, you would have sent your information to someone. Like this, some a few people who will be there, they would have stored their important data in the drive, Google Drive. Like this, there are many things, many data storage devices or servers, and you would have stored the data there. Assume that tomorrow morning you will wake up and suddenly no data is found. Means you will open your WhatsApp, whatever you have sent, no contacts, it shows no messages yet. This is your first message which you have to type. Say hi to interact, say hi to communicate. Means whatever you have interacted, everything will be deleted. Or you assume that everything, whatever you have stored in that drive, Google Drive or any other drives, OneDrive, like this, wherever you have stored the data, that got erased. So will you feel happy about my data? I mean, the storage is clear now. I am happy now. So freshly, I will try to store. Will you feel happy now? Definitely no. So many things you have stored and suddenly everything goes bad. I mean, everything get erased. 100% it is a data loss. Is like for you, you might feel it's okay, ma'am, I didn't keep much. But you assume that in your gallery, whatever you have, everything got deleted. So many pictures you have captured, everything got deleted. It says that no photo is found. The photo is also one type of data which we have. Audio is also one type of data. Video is also one type of data. In other words, any application you are interacting today, you are using today, uses data. So there is a say also, right? Data is a new oil. Why they say that? Means without data, nothing is possible. You can just keep somebody's data and they can, you can, you can just handle them like anything you want. So I am saying that in today's scenario, data is so much important that you have to make sure that your data is secured. So to do this activities only, we have a data engineer, data analyst, and many people who deal with the data. So whatever terms I'm telling, no data, database, all this, nothing but something related to the data only. So basically, if I just tell a data, it is nothing but I can consider few names. There could be a name, something like Ajit, Devika, like this names, or I can just consider some number like this. This is one type of data which I have. Maybe I can also tell there is something called as maybe this is also one type of data like this. Whatever I have, the raw data. See, I cannot, I have only Ajit. Is it a student name? Is it a trainer name? Is it a, somebody's name? Like I am not specified it. It is just a raw data, raw thing. Correct. So this is nothing but, all this is nothing but data. Like this, I would consider now, maybe I would tell something like this. Ajit 1996, then maybe 97, 99, 66, like this. Then I would also consider Devika 1997, the complete date of birth also you can consider. I'm just giving an example here. 98, 77, like this. Like this, I have 100 set of information, 100 set of data. So what is happening here? I have collection of data. This is name here, this is date of birth here, and the subject 1 mark, subject 2 marks, subject 3 marks. So like this, when I have a collection of data, I would tell it is nothing but a database. Means it consists of large amount of data. So when they say only data, it could be anything. I cannot tell only name. It could be anything, date of birth, name, place name, thing name, anything. It's a raw data. Then when I have a collection of data, simply I cannot have it in my place, in my laptop. I should arrange it in a proper manner. Assume that I have the information something like this, 1997, then I'll have a name like this. Then I will have a subject 3 here, subject 1 marks here, and subject, like something like shuffled. If I get the information like this, nobody will feel happy with that. You are seeing your result. When you have to see your result, somebody should store all you, suppose a university exam is going on some day you have to check your result. What you will do, you will go to a internet connection first. You will you will get connected, then you will start giving your number, the whatever the number, unique number they would have given. The moment you enter and click enter button, immediately you'll get a information, okay, your name, your marks, and final result. If you have to get that, don't you think somebody would have stored that in some place? Is that only your marks is stored? No, like that, many students' marks are stored in one place, and that place where it is stored, and that complete data, different data which we have in that place, that is only we call it as database. Okay, but when I say database, randomly I cannot store like this. There is a way. What is that way? The way is nothing but rows and columns. There should be certain row and there should be certain column to have the database. For example, just observe. So whenever I am telling a database, your complete imagination should be like this: rows and columns. Maybe I'll just have 2 columns in my example for as of now. I would say this is name and I would say gender, like this. Only 2 things I'm considering, and upon that I would also consider some name for this. Maybe student is a complete table name, and this complete table will have the columns like this. Inside that column there are several attributes, or I would say values. So what is that attribute? Maybe I'll tell Devika, Rupa, Gagan, Ajit, like this few students name I would consider, their gender, maybe I would just tell F, female, Gagan, male, Ajit, male, like this I would consider. So what is happening here? I have set of a table information, a tabular form, then easily I can understand, oh, name means all these are the set of names which I have. Oh, gender, their information I have. Contact number, their contact number, I'll be having it. And why I should be maintaining the data in this form? So randomly I'll put it inside the system. Okay, I'll give a simple example. Assume that you everybody have the cupboard, right? So what you do, you place all your things, maybe all your jeans in one side, all your t-shirts at one side, maybe, and all your occasional wears at the other side. Like if you organize like this, how simple it would be for you. Whenever there is a function, you go to that compartment, and wherever the occasional wear is kept, easily you take it and you will wear and you'll go. Assume that you are not organized it, everything you have dumped at one side. Now you have to search that occasional where it is stored, everything you will remove. Everything, I know most of them will do that only, even now. So what you do, everything you'll remove, and everything you have to search one by one. If you get shirt, you will not get pant. If you get pant, you will not get shirt. Correct. So that time, what is the problem? It is not organized. It is time consuming for you to go through it. Same way, in your system also, you have the compartments, right? Like drives, C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, like this drives will be there. The moment you take the laptop, buy the laptop, so there are some segregations. So whatever software related things, I mean the softwares you have, all that installation will be done in the D drive or C drive automatically. You would have created one external drive called as D. Maybe you would have named it as entertainment, or photos or gallery, something like that. And then there would be one more thing where you store up all your education thing. Most of you would have not done, only your always your concentration is only movies, songs and all. But I'm just assuming that you would have done one more section called as studies or education, and all your information would be stored in that. So that time it becomes easy for you to go to that particular drive, that particular folder and that particular file. So it becomes easy when the life is organized, things are easy to retrieve it. The same thing will happen if you have the data and store it here. Okay, ma'am, then I got the point that anything which makes easy in life is organization of things. That is the reason this tabular format is required. Is it not possible with the languages we have, like technical languages, C, C++, Java, maybe there are several languages, C Sharp, Python, and so on. Like many programming languages I have. What are these? These are nothing but programming languages. So the question is that, oh, is it not possible using this programming language I can organize the things? Of course you can do it. I'm not telling that you cannot store the data using this language. No. You can store the data. What will happen? So assume that if you use this programming language, things will get stored. 70, 90, 80, whatever you're typing will be getting stored, where there would be certain variables for that. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, and name. According to that variables, things will get stored. Agree. But assume that the other user who is using these things, he will store up the data in a different format. He'll give the name first, he'll give the subject 3 first, he'll give the subject 2 next. Like this, randomly he gives the data, and however he is giving, the data gets stored. Means what is that you have to understand? Using programming languages also, I can store the data, but it is not organized. If I want the data to be organized, then what I should be doing it? If I want the data to be organized, I should not be going for a programming language. Then I should be going for something called as query language. I repeat, if I have to have the data in a organized format, then I should not be going with the programming language. I should be going with the query language. So in this, I can say that the first basic query language, or any technology you go, you take Java, you take the other languages, Python, anything, anywhere you want to store the data, then you require one query language. I would say that which type of query language? I would say structured query language. So I know many of you will be having this doubt, ma'am, why this structure is here, why we are saying all that. As I said, the name indicates organized data. So the more in depth of this SQL, structured query language, few people also call it as SQL. So I would just write it right here. So some people also call it as SQL. So whatever it is, the meaning is just the same. If we have to store up the data in an organized format, then we have to be putting it here in the like if we have to putting the data in the tabular format, means one language is required, that is only structured query language. So this question will be asked, is it not possible in the programming? Yes, it is possible in the programming to store the data, but not in the organized format. So if I have to store the data in an organized format, then I have to go with something called as structured query language. So I'll come back to this same image. Now, many people will have this mindset. Okay, after this computer came into existence, then only this something the topic called as data, database, all this came into existence. Most of you would think that, but I have a question. Do you think that only after computer came into existence we started just okay I mean we started storing up the data? Don't you think before that, before the computer came into existence, we had a data? Now your results are available in the internet. Your parents' results are available in the internet. Nowadays, if you see school, like school, every kids like at the present situation, if your kids are not going to the school, immediately you get a message. Your candidate have been like he's on leave and he's not present in the school. So like this, some information will be reaching to you immediately. Means attendance is also online, but do you think your attendance was online, where there used to be a register? Your teacher is to take that and mark 1 if you are present, if you are absent mark 0 to that. Hope all of you recall that. Correct? Yes, 100%. That means even before this computer came into existence, the data was maintained in a format that is, I can say, hard copy was there in a sheet of a paper, or I can say books. In general terms, ledgers, registers were used to store the data. I hope everybody are getting right. So like whatever I'm saying, are you able to understand? Is that I'm very fast? Okay. So it's just an intro, right? So that is the reason I'm just going quite fast. But when it comes to the topics, I will give several examples and I will explain. This is just a general discussion which I'm making it to make you understand how important the data is. Okay. Yeah. So as I said, in the real world, before the computer came into existence, the concept of data was there. Okay, so my diagram is not that great. Assume this is one book. where the data is entered or stored, or maybe I would tell this is a ledger. Long back, if you consider the concept of farmers who takes the amount from the landlord, where they used to maintain, he didn't had any concept of computer, okay, I'll maintain it, nothing like that. All that interest amount, everything, whatever the farmer has to give, he used to maintain it in the zamindari system long back. So in that case, what is to happen? This is how they used to maintain the data. So now when they used to maintain the data in this format, they started facing so many issues. Assume that only one book they are not maintaining, right? Because a large amount of data they have to store. So several books or several ledgers they should be storing it. As a day is passed on, like many ledgers came into existence. So for that only one go down they started created. They created, okay. So whatever they started creating, ledgers were there, they started storing up in that go down or whatever the garage they had. So everything they used to store. But the problem is, whenever you have this books, papers, pesticides issue will be there. If you keep it for longer period in one place, and suddenly if you open one day, you can see the insects in that, right? It stings, some smell will be there, means what is that? There is a pesticide attacks in that. If you leave like that only, half of the book will not be there only, everything will be finished by the pesticide, like if they would have eaten up that. So that kind of issue will be there. If not that, assume that suddenly some a fire attack will be there. Every paper whichever we have will get burnt in that. Correct. Getting it. Or some water issue or some water flow inside that room. Every data whatever we had gets vanished in that. So long back when we had a concept of storing the data in a hard copy, we started facing many issues. If that book goes, or if that this ledger goes, so what will happen? That farmer will tell, no, you have not received any, I have not taken the amount from you only. Then what the landlord should do? To whom we can go and ask? There is no proof. So what will happen, like what happened then was the concept of a permanent storage came into existence. So what is that concept? Whatever we have in this hard copy, somewhere I should store, and where I have to be storing in one place where data will be in a permanent format. Where this permanent format will be there? In your hard disk. Long back when you are learning in your school days, there was a concept, hard disk is a permanent storage. With RAM, what is RAM? It is a temporary storage. You would have learned like this, right? Even today, like when you download some movie, it gets stored in your laptop, right? So if you close your laptop for several days and suddenly open, will that movie get deleted? No, that movie will be still present in the downloads. Why? Because that downloads is present in the that folder is present in the hard disk, which is a permanent device. Like that, whatever data we have, all that data should now be stored permanently, means I should be storing up in the hard disk. Inside our disk, I will be having the server, or I can say one system will be there. What is that one system? I can say a database management system. Please understand, many of you will get confused between the database management system, all that. So I'll give a clarity on this first. Suppose that you can have a other clarities. First, understand why we should learn. People will simply mug up or simply learn, I should clear the interview so I learn all these things. No, first you understand why I should learn this, where I will use it. If these two questions are clear to you, not only on SQL I'm speaking, it is for every technologies. Whatever you are learning, it could be in your real life, it could be in your technical life, or in a career, whatever you learn. Do you want that? Then why you want that? Where you will use it? These two things are clear, means then everything will be clear to you. So as I said, whatever data we have, Long back, they used to store it in organized format only in a book. But now there was a problem, right? The issues of, pesticides issue, the bookworm, or the rain, or it could be a fire attack, all this issue, whatever we had to overcome that, we started having an like later we got an understanding, oh, we should use something called as permanent storage. Where do I get that permanent storage? The introduction of computer when it came, then many programmer analyzed where they can store it. Then they designed that, okay, they can store the data in a hard disk because it is the permanent storage. So inside the hard disk, if I have to store, simply I cannot store. I have to store it in a format of table only, because that is when I can say it should be it is organized, right? So if I have to tell it should be organized, simply I cannot say system.out.println. If I say that, your computer will print something. The software means you have installed JDK, means one software you have installed. Simply on the paint screen, if I type, so for example, if I just type like the system.out.println, and if I execute here, if I execute, I'll tell if you are using Eclipse, there is a command. If you are using Edit Plus, there is a command, like this. Whatever you're using, for everything there is a command, right? Now I am writing in the Paint. Now, will it be possible for me to execute here in the Paint? General question. Just quick response. I hope Code Java is going on for everyone. So this statement is clear to everyone, right? If it is completed, well and good. If it is still going, at least this statement everybody will be knowing. Okay, yeah. So everybody knows that whatever statement I have written it belongs to Java language. So I can say this belongs to a language called as Java. And if I have to execute Java, then I require the software called as Java Development Kit, software called as JDK. And then if I have to execute the commands which belong, the language, if I have to type this, then I would require some tools to execute, right? Where I can write it. Simply somewhere I cannot write. I want some tools. Maybe it could be Edit Plus, it could be Eclipse, it could be IntelliJ, like this. Many softwares I have, many tools I have. So here you should understand something like language, software, tools. Now the condition is I also want to store the data now. Here also using a language, a programming language, you can store the data, but it is not organized. So what I have to do if I have to store the data in an organized format, I want a query language. I would say structured query language. So if that structured query language I have, simply wherever I want, I cannot type. Something should be there to manage it, to deal with it. I would leave this JDK part or the common thing for SQL empty as of now. I come to that again. But the tool part I will go. To execute Java, you have several tools, IDEs in other words, like Edit Plus, IntelliJ, or the Eclipse, whatever it could be, the command line, the prompt. So all this you will be using it. Same way for SQL. What is that we would require? We would be requiring it, something called as database management system. I would again copy paste it here, but if I currently explain it in the form of software, many people will get confused. So what I'll do, I'll just write it in the place of a tool there. Okay, correct. So many of you already who have the idea will be telling it like what software I should be using it, but I would not go into deep as of now, but I'm just telling you, if you want to execute SQL, few softwares are required. Many softwares are there. I'm not telling it is one or two, many softwares are there, but to execute them, a tools also is required. Someone who manages it. Who is that? Database management systems. Oh, who are under that also we should be understanding. Okay. So for example, when it comes, or when this challenge came into existence, that we should be using a few softwares, or this database storage management systems, many companies came into existence. So Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL Server, MS SQL, many Postgres, many companies came into existence because there was a importance, like there was a demand for everyone that they should be using up something called as a database now. So if they have to use the database, the companies came into existence. Like these are the companies, many companies. Prativa Pradhan is saying that MongoDB. Yeah, I'll come to that point. See, there is something called as relational database management system, non-relational that is management system. So there is a difference. Okay, so we will go to that part later. I'm just giving some intro, that's it. Okay, as of now, not too much into that. So here, when I say this, companies came into existence, there was a competition between them only. Okay, this we should be using that. They started giving offers. If you use my company, then you will be getting these many years of warranties. You can use it to free of cost, like this. So many packages. Right? Marketing skills. The same way it came into existence. Later, once this computer was introduced and this concept, maybe I would tell you, ma'am, now the question is that which management system I should be using. It is up to you. Within that, what language they use? Query language, structured query language. One set of management systems you understand means, I would tell, you will be learning this SQL under one management system, which is that it is Oracle, MySQL, MS SQL. It is my MS SQL. It is up to you, whichever you want, you can learn. But I would suggest, when you're learning a database, always learn one set of management systems SQL. Means if you're learning Oracle, complete it first. All the commands, all the clauses of Oracle first completed. Or no, ma'am, I'm happy with the MySQL. I have a basic idea of MySQL. I'm happy. It is up to you. Ma'am, I have the knowledge of MS SQL. Okay, it is up to you. Man, everything is same. Everything, the concepts are same. But the way it is written, few here and there, light changes will be there. So if you ask me, ma'am, which you will be teaching in this session, there are a few development students here also. For them, there's advanced Java where they'll be using database concepts in them. So in their projects or in their classes, they'll be using Oracle database. That is the reason I would also demonstrate this Oracle in the session. Ma'am, what is the difference between few other databases? In the class, I mean, in a further session, I'll explain it to you. But as of now, to give information, I would be using Oracle database. Okay, so using this database management system, inside that I would write a queries, SQL, that is using the SQL. So once I write up that, whatever data we had here, the same in the tabular format, I can store up in my computer for a permanent storage. Whenever I want, I can use it. Your results, which are there, have been stored in a server somewhere in the database. Okay. Today you checked, it is there. After 6 years also, if you check, it will be there. It is not like that it gets deleted. You have one unique number, right? That if you give, your results are permanently stored. Why? Because it is stored in a permanent storage. Same thing is happening here also. So when these things are there, now we are specifically concentrating on this part of Oracle. So who introduced that? Who is the founder of it? So there is a founder called as Laurie Ellison. Ma'am, will they ask it in the interview? No, nobody will ask you who is a father, who is a founder and all. But if it is a MCQs questions, they might ask you. So just 0.001% of arrival, like maybe it could be asked. That is the reason I'm just giving one name here. So Larry Ellison is the one who introduced this Oracle especially the whatever that like the database interaction you do in the Oracle, it is under the Larry Ellison who introduced it, and whatever we are learning or will be learning in the Oracle is instructions given by the Larry Ellison. Okay, so now what is data? I go back to this. What is data? I hope with the example everybody can say it is nothing but a raw data. Agree? Or I can say it is just a facts and figures, or you can just say it is a raw data. Agree? Yes or no? So meanwhile, what is database? It is nothing but collection of data, or it is a collection, it is nothing but collection of facts and figures. It is a collection of facts and figures. Or I can also say it is nothing but collection of raw data. It is a collection of raw data. So when I say like this, there would be one more question. What is information? So when it comes to our information, people will get confused between the database and the information. So in the database, what we'll be having, this is how we have. Maybe I would say like this. Okay, database means nothing like there is a collection of data. Maybe I'll tell something like this: 24 April 1973, and I would tell Sachin Tendulkar, and I would also say cricketer. Like this, three set of information I have given it here. One is date of birth, name, their which background they belong to. This is how I have given. What is this? This is nothing but a collection of data which I have. But same thing, I will take and I'll put it like this. Is a date of birth of Sachin Tendulkar. Who is he? He is a cricketer. Like this, when we have a complete statement, we call it as an information. If we have the collection of data, it belongs to a database. Like this, have a understanding of it. Just the terms I'm telling it, not the complete information. Whatever I'm speaking, it is just the information I'm giving, so you can understand. I'm just giving you an idea how the things works. So when we say information, it should be detailed. Okay, so ma'am, what is required for the database understanding, SQL understanding? What you have to understand is only these two things. We will be dealing only these two things only. Okay. Yeah. So as a tester, why we should be learning? As a developer, why we should be learning? I gave one point that you become a developer, you become a tester, data is important. When a developer is working on some information, how to store it, how to retrieve it, how to organize it, how to manage it, all these things when the developer does, he might make mistakes. For example, in your WhatsApp, you see that, right? Whatever you send as a message is coming towards the right hand side. Whatever you receive as a message is coming towards the left hand side. The view of a data is coming in that format. Means the moment you send the data is viewed first, and to reply of that will be next, and the reply of that reply will be in the next. Means there is one organization of data in one set of view. One database organization is going on there. Now forget about all that. Here also, whatever I'm writing, see, first I have written it here, next I'm writing it here. This is in a notepad I'm writing. The moment I tell enter, it goes to the next line, and the blinking is done in the left hand side only. It doesn't go to right hand side and here it will blink. If I want there, I have to move my cursor and make it into that position. Means data should be viewed in this way only in the notepad. Like this they have already designed. Or sometimes undo operations we have, right? data structures, I can say. There are several data structures. Means in this format only data should be stored, retrieved. All this, who is doing? There is person called as data engineer who works basically on the data only, and because of that you are getting it. Your contacts are in the alphabetical order. Why it is in alphabetical order? Because they have designed in such a way. So when it is like that, assume that one day when you go to the contacts, it is not in that particular format. You are storing the data, but it is not getting stored. It is stored, but it is not viewed. Means there is a developer who made a mistake of viewing the data. He made a code. He has written a code. That is the reason whatever you're saving the content, it is getting stored, but you are not able to see. Whenever you say one number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and you try to save with a name called as some your Ajit as a name, it says contact saved, means it is getting saved. Your memory got reduced, means somewhere it got stored. But when you go to the contacts and checking, when you see search for A and type that Ajit, you are not able to see that contact. Means developer has done that mistake where it is not, you are not able to see that. So he has coded properly. Some problem is there in the viewing part, means somewhere he left the part there. Who will do the testing? A tester will do. He will also check, he'll check the application. Okay, when the user is checking for a contact, is it visible? It is visible, means application is accepted. If it is not visible, then there is a bug. He'll go back to the developer, says that, see, these, when I'm doing this type of test case, I'm not able to see this contact, means the viewing, something is issue, the some issue is there, please check on this. And then the developer will work on that. I have given a simple example to make you understand. Don't think this way only it goes on. A sample example I have given only to make you understand why tester also should learn database. Clear? Yes. So being a tester or being a developer doesn't matter. I can also tell you this. No, there is a like there are many people who works under the data, role of data engineer, data analyst, and all. They are like, I can say that they are paid very well because they are dealing with the important thing called as data. So now in the classes, what you will be learning is a basic understanding of SQL. In Oracle, how you will be using it. If you're going with the database management system of Oracle, how you will be using the data, how you will, data can be stored, how it can be retrieved, how it can be removed. In other words, I can say modification of data can be done. How in the Oracle, this is what you'll be understanding. Okay, so this is just an intro session which I wanted to give it to everyone. What we will be learning in the data SQL, what are the commands, all that day by day. First only I'll tell these are the topics, these are the things, these are the interview questions. Day wise I'll share to everyone. But today's ultimate goal is that to only make you understand what is the importance of data, database, and SQL. Why developer or the tester should learn that. So those points are clear to everyone. So don't think every day only like this only we will discuss. No, my point is very simple. Even I am teaching it for 1 hour, or maybe it could be for a 15 minutes, doesn't matter. At your end, what work you should do, that I will plan it before only. So today's task was only this much to make you realize how important the data is. There is a doubt. I'll come to that point. Let me just clear it. So you being a tester or the developer, the questions will be asked on, okay, let me just clear this. Ma'am, is SQL sufficient or also have to learn PL or SQL? PL SQL, okay, for attending driver interview. Shashi Sharan. Okay, Shashi Sharan. See, it is like this. Once you learn SQL, any other languages, I mean, any other management systems easily you can understand. Is that required for clearing the interview? That is what I would be telling it to you. If a question asked in this way, there are several questions. They can ask it in PLSQL, they can ask it in MSSQL, MySQL, whatever it is. But how you write a query is just the same. Ma'am, just because of I have learned Oracle, if they are asking MSSQL and I have written Oracle, will they reject me? No. One database, if you learn thoroughly, it is more than sufficient to clear the interview. That is what I'll tell, right? What is the difference between all these? So first learn one database properly, one database management system properly. Others are just here and there modifications will be there. For that, notes I'll be giving it. So with respect to interviews, I would be giving you a complete understanding how you have to clear and all with respect to SQL. So you need not worry about it. Any kind of questions they can ask, you will be able to clear. What is the difference between the data and information? Data is raw facts, just like this. See, you don't know. Is it a name? Is it a trainer name? Is it a student name? Nothing information in that. It is just raw. Okay. Database is collection of it. Means there would be certain columns, rows, and all. What is it? By seeing the columns, you can tell. Similar way, what is information? See, you can understand it. This is the date of birth of Sachin Tendulkar. He is a cricketer. So nobody will ask you the difference between the information and database, but for your clarity, I have given this. Definitely they'll ask the difference between data and database. Notes wise, how I'm writing it here, the same way I'll be writing it on the daily basis. The complete notes on the same day, I will be sharing it in a group also. So you could directly you can download that and go through it. But at my end, I would always suggest maintain some notes. Either you can type it in your systems and keep, or maintain one hard copy. So whenever you're going to interview, you can just refer to that. It will help you a lot. Okay. Coming to the software. Please change the screen color. Sure, will be changed. I am using, okay, is it not visible properly, Bhushan? Okay, fine. That's really, that's fine. I would change it. No need to worry. Yeah. So coming back to this software, which to download, I have shared one link. If you open that, let me just go to that link. So this is how it would be there. I would suggest to download and keep. I don't want anybody to run, execute and all. So there is a software here. You can directly go to the Oracle and download and keep it ready. Tomorrow I'll show you the installation. Can you all see Oracle here? So just keep this download and keep it ready. I would show the installation, few execution of queries, then you can download. See, it's a heavy software. Once you download, so do some mistake and again correcting it, it takes lot of time and your memory will be utilized, like lot of memory will be utilized. So I'm telling this, you're very much confident, you know the installation process, please go ahead. If not, please wait until I explain it, what are the importance, so how you should be doing it. Later you can do it. Clear to all? What will be the session timings? Is it the same 7 o'clock? I think is 7 o'clock fine for everyone? 7:30. Okay, I'll interact about the timings in the group only, so we'll see about it. Currently 7, here and there little alternation we can do it later on based on your compatibility. So as of now it is 7. Okay, try to be there for at 7. Later we'll do it. Okay, my important question is that whatever I'm conveying, is that clear to everyone, or are you able to catch up what I'm telling? Okay, so tomorrow onwards, we'll be having a technical discussion. Today is just an intro. So I would request everyone to be there in the session by 7. I'll start by 7 immediately as soon as I at 7 o'clock at sharp. So only requirement from your end is be there for the session without fail. Ma'am, I'll go with the recording. If it is, you cannot miss out. I mean, like some emergencies there, I would agree, but I would always suggest please be there for the live session. The things you learn in the live session and the things you go in the recording will not be that efficient way. When you're in the live, I would speak and immediately you ask me, right? For the session, how long the session? It would be for the 16 days. 16 days for 1 hour each day. Whenever it is required, I might increase the session time, maybe sometimes 1.5, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 1 hour. Maximum it is 1 hour only. Sometimes some doubts will be there, right? So if I have to clear, I would extend it. Okay. Yes. So fine then. For today, I hope it is sufficient. So tomorrow, keep the software downloaded. That's it. I would explain. Then you can download it tomorrow. The whole day tomorrow. Once I give the information, day after tomorrow you can check it. Any problem in the installation, I would clear it day after tomorrow. But the software should be installed in everybody's system. Ma'am, I don't have laptop, but I would tell if you don't have laptop, it is very difficult to learn. For next 2 to 3 days, it is fine. But if you don't have laptop, what is the practical knowledge you'll get? Whatever I say, it is just a theoretical knowledge which you are getting it. If you type and check, the practical knowledge also you'll get. To clear the database interviews, you have to have the practical knowledge. Okay. So fine then. I think that the points which I have conveyed, everybody have understood. So let's meet tomorrow. Till then, have a great night. So let's learn quickly SQL, and as soon as possible, you will clear your interviews based on the SQL also. Okay. That guarantee I would give from my end. From your end, if you have to give, then you should be attentive throughout the session. So till then, so have a great night. Thank you.
मैम
Yes, yes.
मैम थोड़ा स्क्रीन शेयर ले लीजिए थोड़ा
Sorry,
स्क्रीन शेयर मैम
you want to share the screen? Uh, can you repeat? I have to share the screen, or
नो आई एम
you want to share? Just a minute. Yeah. Please share now.
मैम
हाँ.
ये वाला एप्लीकेशन से सफिशिएंट है ना ये करने के
MySQL. हाँ, fine.
इसी पे कराइएगा ना
MySQL. नहीं, I will be doing Oracle. Like you can utilize this also. No issues. This is
तो इसको डिलीट कर दें मैम
you will delete it. No, not required. You can go with this also. कोई problem नहीं है. You can use this. Who is speaking? Shashi Sharan.
यस मैम
Repeating.
मैम आई एम आस्किंग आई इंस्टॉल दिस एप्स
You are asking me to install this.
हाँ
But Sharan, I can use this. I can give you a guidance individually on this. The problem is there is a few development students who will be learning thoroughly with the Oracle in the Java. So that is the reason I wanted them to learn Oracle also. So with respect to MySQL, no need. See, query execution, it works with anything. Any software is fine. Changes little bit will be there that you have to just include. So only I'm telling it is fine. You can go with this also.
ठीक है मैम
ठीक है. I'll show you tomorrow. I'll demonstrate. No need to worry. Both the things I'll do it. Yes. So hope tomorrow. Yes, Rishabh, you have a doubt? Anybody who have a doubt, you can quickly unmute and speak. If not, you can leave the meeting. Recording will be shared as usual in your groups. Yes. Okay. So I think that people are fine. As we have not discussed much with the technical part, let's meet tomorrow and start with the technical part at 7. So make sure that everybody will be available at 7. Have a great night. Let's all meet tomorrow. Thank you.